Today we play Klinklang. For 3 energy, Klinklang's Gear Spinner deals 70 damage, but if used 2 turns in a row, it deals 140 damage instead. For a non-EX Pokemon with 150 HP, this is pretty respectable damage, as 140 is the exact amount needed to one-shot a variety of popular Pokemon out there. However, a Stage 2 Pokemon that needs 3 energy can be quite difficult to get online, especially when 2 of those energies need to be Metal type. As such, Klinklang was much harder to make work than I expected. I first tried all sorts of pairings with it, including both Skarmory's, Magnezone, Stoutland, New Porygon Z, Toucannon, Alolan Duck Trio, and more. Ultimately, I landed on Dialga, which may seem obvious in a way, but I was trying to avoid it since I kinda have an aversion to playing Dialga because starting with it going first can feel like a death sentence, as it is way too slow and can result in a loss before you can even accomplish anything with it. However, the solution I found actually surprised me. Because Klinklang's Gear Spinner uses 1 colorless energy, it can make sense to use baby Pokemon to help ramp it. What I didn't expect to make as much sense, however, is that baby Pokemon are also fairly useful for Dialga as well. Since Dialga's Metallic Turbo needs 2 metal energy, babies don't help it perfectly, but allow it to immediately follow up Metallic Turbo with Heavy Impact for a total of 130 damage. In today's deck, we accelerate energy and then we shift gears. By combining Klinklang with Dialga and Pichu, we aim to have a lot of flexibility in how we ramp our Pokemon and then start dealing some heavy damage. Of course, this deck still has some flaws as it can be quite inconsistent and both Klinklang and even Dialga are far from being meta. However, it still worked out alright for me and at worst, it was still a fair deck to have some fun with. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing for more fun of meta decks. I also take deck requests. Is there any card you want to see played in Master Ball rank? Let me know in the comments and I'll build a deck around it. With that said, check this deck out in action and enjoy the games. Okay, I'm going second against Guzzlord. I kept Klink in hand just to kind of try to play against that first turn 1 Sabrina potentially. We'll have another Pokeball though. And not too worried about that. Okay. To play against Naganadel though. Oh, but I have a Pichu now. I do want to be greedy here. Pichu is best in first turn anyway. So I'm gonna go for it. I don't think they would use Sabrina, right? They would just go straight to knocking out this Pichu. So yeah, let's see. Naganadel has those 100 HP. And does knock out the Pichu straight away. So, okay. That was pretty expected, but now my Dialga already has 3 energy. And I think that will be a good enough advantage. Especially with the Steel Apron to protect me from the poison. I can just deal 30 damage here. And follow it up with 100 damage next turn. Right, now they will need Guzma. And now like their entire board centered around poison has lost a lot of value. And okay, I actually get the Klinklang. I was not expecting to get it already. But I'm gonna go for Heavy Impact. Yeah, no poison. I can even ramp Klinklang manually if needed. One shot is Nihiligos, so their only shot is Guzzlord as fast as possible. And I'm actually a bit worried about Guzzlord losing in with Cyrus. I get to sell a Celesteela though, so that's pretty good for me. But I have to keep on using Heavy Impact. And they don't even... That's weird. They don't even attack with Nihilego. Not really sure why though. Celesteela does survive a hit here. Okay, so there's a Guzzlord. If they use Lusamine here and Cyrus next turn, I still lose. Oh no, I actually... Steel Apron protects me. I only take 110. But I have no good way of... I feel like I should still retreat. Not necessarily. Retreating to Dialga or not is kind of the same. Unless I retreat to Pichu, but that doesn't really accomplish much. I kind of have to force the Celesteela to retreat. Right, so what's my best shot here? If I want to play around Cyrus, I kind of need to retreat immediately. I'm more comfortable going to Pichu this turn, to be honest. It's kind of whack. But I feel like I need to. Not comfortable taking any damage right here. So I'm gonna go with this. And Crackly Toss. Gotta put the energy. It's either one of them will do, but because I might get with a Cyrus, I might just put it on that one. So, okay. Now my Klinklang does get knocked out though. But this Dialga doesn't. So... Let's see. Now I need to retreat this, so maybe I should have put the energy on the other one after all. Because I would have been able to follow it up with more damage there. Right? I feel like I need to play Rocky Helmet. I don't really have other tools. But yeah, because of poison, unfortunately, I do almost get knocked out here. So yeah, that Pichu energy placement might have cost me the game. So I would have been able to retreat to Dialga for 100 damage now. I didn't expect to get Cyrus right away because my Dialga wouldn't get knocked out, so felt like Cyrus would be used after Klinklang went down, and then that Dialga would have been able to deal 100 damage. But even then, I could have just retreated it to the other one anyway. So either way, I should have put the energy on the other Dialga. But they retreat for some reason. Which feels like a huge misplay. It is a huge misplay. They were just about to win. Right, I'm gonna use Mars just because it's kind of last turn. Deal 100 damage here, 140 rather. So yeah, I was about to lose and maybe they were afraid of something like a Dawn to put the energy from that Dialga onto the other one. It's kind of wild. So 6 cards left. 2 researches. Oh, they concede here. Okay, then. That was crazy. Lugia. Okay. With a Dialga here. More tempted to go for Mars. Try to delay them a little bit. Next turn I can go for Leaf. Do I need the Rocky Helmet on anything? I don't really think so, but I might as well. I don't think they have kind of any decent thresholds on damage. I am actually going to put it on this one, because I guess something like Snorlax with red would technically knock out the Dialga. But their main attacker or main sweeper is Lugia, not... I doubt they have Snorlax here. Well, they could. Okay, so I actually get Pichu, which could allow me to just take it a little bit easier. Right, I don't even necessarily need to use Leaf. No, but I will. Try to save more energy. Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this. Try to get the Klinklang, maybe even 2 of them. Because yeah, like Dialga alone won't cut it. So I would love the Klinklang, but unfortunately still missing 2 pieces. Still missing 1 piece. I do feel like I should go for it, mainly in case they don't have the Ilima, I suppose. Maybe that's a mistake. I do have the Ilima. Like, this deck is just harsh if you don't have an ideal start, if you don't get the right cards, if they have the Ilima ready to go. They even have super effectiveness, so that sucks. I take 100 damage. So Steel Apron would not have done anything. And yeah, they can kind of just attack again with Ho-Ho next turn. I'll need to top that Klinklang here. Okay, I do. But it's still a really harsh situation right here. I guess if I heal for 80 and I could heal for 80 and put a Steel Apron, but that doesn't really do anything. So my best bet is just going with Leaf. He might just retreat to Lugia. I mean, attacking with Ho-Ho again does prepare Lugia to sweep, but they would lose the Ho-Ho. But I think that's totally fine with losing the Ho-Ho. I think it's kind of one way to pretty much assure the victory right here. Right, so unless I draw an entire second Klinklang, and even then, it's not really enough. Right, this doesn't even do anything. I'm just gonna get rid of a couple of cards. Okay, they seem to have Elemental Switch, and they do have the Snorlax. I can send in Pichu, and they shouldn't really waste an attack on Pichu with Lugia. Nothing else they have is prepared to attack though. So yeah. Oh, but they had a lightning energy, so they could have just put this water on Lugia and next turn put lightning on Lugia again, and they would be able to attack 2 times. So, okay, unfortunately bottom 3 has a rare candy and a second Klinklang, so I'm not going to be able to get it in time. Ideally, I would attack right now. Maybe they feel pressured and they feel like they need to go with an attack here. I would kind of prefer to get Mars or something at this point. Oh. That's actually pretty good. That's crazy. They could have won with that water and lightning. If it had gone to Lugia, they might have still win, don't get me wrong. You only really need like a Cyrus. Now I'm threatening 140 if they don't have that Cyrus. To be honest, sometimes these decks that, because Lugia deals 180, they kind of don't need Sabrina or Cyrus. They can just wipe anything that is in front of them. But yeah, now I'm gonna deal 100 damage to this Lugia. And now they will have 2 lightnings, so they can't attack with Lugia anymore next turn. This didn't really do anything, but okay. Unfortunately, I think I still lose. They go to Ho-Ho and they prepare the Snorlax. Oh, no, but can they retreat this Lugia? Okay, second Ilima. Yeah, but no, wait, yeah. Now they can't retreat the Snorlax, right? They've already used both Ilimas. That doesn't really do anything. But I'm gonna retreat it anyway. And okay. Moment of truth here. I mean, if they have a center lady, they can buy themselves one more turn. Put energy on Snorlax. Oh, they have a Lyra. Okay, so I do still lose like this. That's unfortunate. I did lose my Rocky Helmet. So yeah, that sucks. That was incredibly close. Well, they had gotten lucky with their energies at some point, so... And that's how it is. Alright, GG. That Lyra, of course. Okay, Hitran. I'd guess it's the Arceus Typhlosion variant. But not necessarily. Okay, it is exactly that. Let's hope I get a basic at least, I suppose. Okay, there's 2 basics, so that's appreciated. The Dialga, if I had the rare candy, I could have gone straight for Klink. Would have quite liked that. But in this case, I'm gonna go for Dialga. I'm not sure if I said Dialga twice, or if I had the rare candy, I could have gone for Klinklang. That's rough, but my Pichu survives. But I guess they can go just straight for Hitran anyway. And my Dialga gets hit for 100 if it uses Metallic Turbo, and then another 20 from Burn. Okay. That's rough. There's the rare candy. And second Klink. I'm probably gonna go with both. I think second Dialga would still be more valuable. Right? I do still need 2 more pieces anyway. So I don't necessarily love it. I think I can just do this. I just Metallic Turbo. If they put the energy on Hitran, they do lose the Hitran unless they have a potion. They would need a kind of exactly a potion. No, they would still need... Yeah, that's not enough. They would need like a giant cape and the potion to still deal 100 damage. Do they actually have it? I guess Center Lady would still be annoying, but that's still in range. And I don't heal, so my Dialga will go to 10 HP. I just Heavy Impact, got a KO. Get rid of 2 energy and 1 giant cape there. Now I can go in with Klinklang. That's really rough. Lost those 2 coin flips in a row, so I do get knocked out right here. And then if they have Cyrus, I lose. So I guess here's to hoping that I get Center Lady to counter the Cyrus and heal my Pichu. Potentially. Don't really see much of another way out of this. This Giant Cape could have been great on the Arceus for the Klinklang second attack. But yeah, that sucks. 3 tails in a row. And I get hit by 120 damage again. Guess let's try the Mars. If they have a Cyrus, I have to get rid of it. Now I still pretty much need Center Lady. And then I take 40 from Cyndaquil, so without the Center Lady, I also just lose. Heal? Okay, okay. I can go for this. Still need to hope to get Center Lady. If they get Cyrus, they still win, so this is rough. At least I healed from that burn and Cyndaquil only deals 40 damage. I would lose to Giovanni as well. Giovanni or Cyrus. That's game. That was clutch.